Hi everybody, I am going to talk about understanding of family dynamics. While working with different people, it is essential to understand each one of them as individuals. While relating with human beings, one needs to understand the dynamics of the person's family. A good grasp of the family dynamics will enable the social case worker to make effective interventions in helping the individual as well as the family. Family is a place wherein persons are born and nurtured and have the space for their biological growth as well as personality development under the guidance of their parents and other elders. It is where we look for warmth, comfort, care, love, acceptance, support, honesty, and many more virtues. A human being feels comfortable in his or her family settings. At every stage of his or her growth, he or she is educated about values and customary practices which vary from family to family based on the region, social milieu, cultural practices, and so on. Families develop their own structure made up of persons who share a strong sense of belonging and of history and make efforts to meet one another's needs. Hence, one needs to understand the factors influencing the family dynamics in order to build healthy relationships among the members. At the end of my talk, you will understand the meaning of family dynamics, gain knowledge about the factors influencing the dynamics, and identify the dynamics in families and the contributive factors related to it. Let me explain the meaning of family dynamics. Every family has its own dynamics manifested in many ways. Family dynamics refer to the interaction among the family members as well as the varying relationships that develop within the structure of the family. Unraveling these relationships can help everyone to understand the family better. Family dynamics are not separate but part of a larger system characterized by the individual members' relationships with one another. Family dynamics refers to the ways in which family members or members of other close-knit groups of people communicate and relate to one another. The dynamics within a family never remain the same because human beings are capable of change and the family members undergo different experiences. People often look at family dynamics in the context of what makes a family dysfunctional. This would also include how siblings relate to each other and how they find their place in the family. According to Mosby's Medical Dictionary published in 2009, the term family dynamics is defined as the forces at work within a family that produce particular behavior or symptom. It is a way in which the members of a family live and interact with one another that creates the dynamics. These dynamics, whether good or bad, healthy or unhealthy, shape people, ultimately influencing how they view and interact with the world outside of their family. Family dynamics comprise of alignment of relationship within the family, hierarchical structure, roles, functions of each member, typical characteristics of the family, and patterns of interaction among the members. Let me outline the factors that influence family dynamics. Social case workers must be clear about the different factors that influence family dynamics. Structure and family type, personalities of individuals, family values including beliefs about gender roles, parenting practices, power or status of family members, and religion, caste, culture, as well as social and economic standards. These are some of the factors that influence the family dynamics. There are some factors which may be negative in nature can influence the family dynamics, such as domestic violence and abusive members of the family, alcoholism, presence of sick or disabled members within the family, absence of parents or single parents, learning disability of the children, mental illness of family members, divorce, death, business loss, failure, or any other untoward incidents in the family. The positive factors are any sort of success, gain of wealth, promotion, and so on. Marriage and birth of a child can be either positive or negative. Even the day-to-day affairs in a family have their influences on family dynamics. Let me explain the impact of the type and structure of family on the dynamics. To understand family dynamics, one should first be clear about the structure and types of the family, for the reason that each of these types contributes in creating different dynamics in the family. For instance, if the nuclear family operates in freedom and understanding between the spouses, these qualities are absorbed by the children and they develop nurturing as a pattern of their behavior. So, the nature of family dynamics of this family will be nurturing and understanding even in times of crisis. Occurrence of any unacceptable incident or behavior in this family will lead to misunderstanding among the members, and the behavior pattern of each member will only aggravate the crisis, and eventually the relationships may be strained. In a joint family setup, mostly the individuals are dependent on the family head or the elders for taking any decisions, whether small or big, whereas in nuclear families the freedom for decision making is relatively high, and therefore the spouse groomed in a nuclear family takes decisions fast and without consulting anybody. This may hurt the other spouse and may affect their relationship. Family dynamics also depend on the personality of individuals. As we understand, the family dynamics play an important role in the attitudinal formation, value system, and the behavior pattern of the young members in the family. In most of the situations, families are formed through a marital relationship between two individuals who have grown up in different social backgrounds and come together to live under one roof. These individuals' experiences, practices, and traits may differ based on their values and socialization experiences. The values imbibed while growing up and the socialization experiences mold their personalities. They shape the way the person relates to others when he or she grows up. The parenting style of each spouse is influenced by the family dynamics that they experienced as a child. Human beings can learn positive as well as negative characteristics and adopt them as their traits. The way different individuals respond to a particular action or occurrence may differ. For example, if one of the spouses, say the father, insists on high academic performance of their children, it could be based on the father's experience as a child. He tries to fulfill his unfulfilled desire of academic excellence as he sees himself as a failure in academics when compared to his siblings. His poor academic performances would have resulted in family dynamics which eventually created strenuous relationships in his family. So, in this case, The parenting style of being strict and having high expectations of the academic performance of his children is influenced by his childhood experiences. Likewise, if there is a theft in a house, while one of the spouses may react very emotionally, the other one may take it calmly. The cause of the different reactions is the different views and experiences of the spouses as individuals. Here is another example of how the values and attitude influence the family dynamics. The birth of a differently abled or special child in a family with two normal children brings in a change in family dynamics. In this family, the parents had already prepared the children to accept their special child. They learn to acknowledge, respect, and be sensitive to the special child. The attitude and values of the older siblings were favorable for the growth of the special child. The child was cared for and nurtured by her siblings. After the birth of this child, the family became much closer and the understanding about each other was strengthened. Here, the incident of the birth of the special child positively influenced the family dynamics. Let me tell you about the influence that religion and culture can exert on the family dynamics. Culture is a way in which the ideas, customs, and social behavior of a particular people or society are expressed. The different aspects of culture include language, customs, habits, values, norms, practices, and food habits. Geography also shapes culture. The cultural differences, if any, between the spouses can influence the dynamics in the family. For instance, if one of the spouses is a South Indian and is used to eating rice and rice-based food items and tries to impose the same food habits on his or her partner of European origin, it creates a change in dynamics. In case the European partner adapts to the culture of eating rice, the relationship between them will be smooth. If the partner is unwilling and grumbling about the food, then there may emerge stress and strain in the relationship, which may affect the dynamics in the family. Over the years, it has been proved that one of the most powerful factors which influences a family dynamics is religion. The emergence of civilization in human history gave birth to religions. When the human race began to establish itself and flourish, it also began the search for the betterment of the human beings, not only physically but also mentally and spiritually. The mystery behind many of the creations strengthened the human being's belief in a higher power. Thus, a number of religions were formed and then evolved. Religion became a way of life and it began to synchronize with the lives of human beings. As most of them have experienced, religion leads human beings to follow certain values, attitudes, practices, and other attributes to accomplish the fullness of life. Thus, the evolution and growth of religions has become a part of the growth of civilization. Religious beliefs and practices have become one of the key factors in creating, influencing, and diffusing dynamics in families. A religious person leads his or her life according to the belief and practice of the religion. If somebody in the family tries to diverge from the religious practice of the family, the dynamics he or she creates will be disturbing the atmosphere of the family. For instance, in some of the religions, it is believed that eating a particular meat is a blasphemy. Despite this, the son in a family violates the religious code and consumes a particular meat. The father and the mother try to educate the son about the importance of following the practice in the family, but the son disobeys them. This incident changes the relating pattern of the parents with the son. Gradually, the pattern of intercommunication is affected and relationship also becomes strained. Let me now mention about the influence of caste system on the family dynamics. Besides cultural practices, caste norms also influence family dynamics. The sociological affiliation in the form of caste plays a very important role in Indian society. Those who are caste-minded rigidly expect the members of their caste to follow the caste norms in every aspect of life. The caste norms are often intolerant if any of the members violates the practices. There are many instances of caste panchayats which have influenced or affected the inner dynamics of families through their edict, particularly in matters of inter-caste marriage. The recent incident of the marriage between Ilavarasan and Divya in Dharmaburi district of Tamil Nadu is one of the telling examples of the influence of caste in family dynamics. Ilavarasan, a Dalit youth, and Divya, a girl from another caste, got married legally as a realization of their love. They began to live in the residence of Ilavarasan, situated in the Dalit colony. Annoyed by this incident, the people of the Hindu caste warned the father of Divya and insulted him for the violation of caste norms by his daughter and asked him to bring her back home. Her refusal to come to her father's home and the inability of the girl's father to confront the caste leaders led him to commit suicide. This infuriated the people of the other caste, and as a form of punishment, they looted, burnt and destroyed around 300 houses of Dalit families. Consequently, the girl, Divya, was forced to seek divorce from her husband, and the entire dynamics generated by the caste factor ended with the death of her husband. This incident explains the power of caste in influencing not only a single family but the entire community. The repercussions of this incident were negative and it cost 2 lives. There was a shift in the dynamics of the families of both Ilavarasan and Divya. The marriage and the aftermath incidents changed the family dynamics into those of fear and insecurity, which destabilized the life of the members. Let me explain the role of social standard in influencing the family dynamics. Social standard or status has its impact on the family dynamics. The members value their social standard a lot. The families try to maintain their social standard through wealth and social status, and the mindset related to their status is reinforced through education, social relationships, marriage, entertainment pattern, and so on. If any member of the family tries to violate the norms related to the family status or social standing, it is considered as a degradation of family status. If any one of the family members gets married to a person who belongs to a family below their social standard, the entire family shows a discomfort and anger by distancing themselves from the couple. These families also have a chosen group for socialization and select a few arts for entertainment, for example, classical dance, classical music, etc. It is seldom noticed that members from the high social standard come down to enjoy the arts of the common man. Similarly, the family dynamics of a person from a family of poor social standard who has risen into high social standard is positive and is a motivating factor for other members in the family as well as in the society. Let me mention about the importance of identifying the family dynamics in casework practice. Social caseworkers should be able to identify the family dynamics. These can be identified by assessing the work pattern, identifying the stress areas of the individual, and understanding the value system and religious, cultural, and caste background. Assessing the social standard and the family status of the individual is also important. While exploring family dynamics, it is essential to be open and positive and to identify the strengths of the family and also to identify patterns that are problematic and may need to be challenged. Social workers have the responsibility to challenge the norms of caste, culture, and religion if they are anti-human and hegemonic, by teaching the members to acknowledge and respect each person as an individual in order to help families function in a healthy manner. It is also imperative to listen to the young person's narrative about their family, paying attention to and eliciting family relationship patterns and interpretations, including communication patterns during conflicts. Families exist as their own structure, made of people who share bonds and a sense of history and endeavor to meet each other's needs. It is necessary to understand the family system and the family dynamics in order to enhance the bonding among the members. The caseworker can enable the members of the family, particularly the young members, to grow in the sense of belonging and commitment to their family. Let me state some of the salient characteristics that the members of the family develop during the course of their interactions with one another. The members keep the views developed from the family of origin throughout life. Even if someone leaves a family physically, he or she may rarely leave the family emotionally. If the person never returns home again, he or she will continue to reenact the dynamics of his or her original family in any new family he or she may establish. It is very difficult for the members to separate emotionally from early family environment. A satisfying adult life of the young members depends on how well they deal with the inner dynamics of their family. Family dynamics often have a strong influence on the way young people see themselves, others, and the world, and influence their relationships, behavior, and well-being. Hence, caseworkers must understand the impact of family dynamics on the young person's self-perception in order to respond to the driving forces behind that person's present needs. If parents are able to have an agreement together on an approach to be taken with regard to the handling of their children's behavior, the children usually respond positively. These core qualities set the stage for family dynamics, and without a structure, these dynamics cannot play out. By understanding the evolving family dynamics, the members can reach their full potential in a happy, relaxed, and fun way. Let me sum up. Family dynamics refers to the ways in which family members or members of other close-knit groups of people relate to one another. Family dynamics, whether healthy or unhealthy, shape people, ultimately influencing how they view and interact with the world outside of their family. Structure and type of family, personality of individuals, family values including beliefs about gender roles, parenting practices, power or status of family members, religion, caste, culture, and social standard are some of the major factors which influence the family dynamics. Social caseworkers should be able to identify the family dynamics. The dynamics can be identified by assessing the work pattern, identifying the stress areas of the individual, and understanding the value system and religious, cultural, and caste background. Assessing the social standard and the family status of the individual is also important. While exploring family dynamics, it is essential to be open and positive and to identify the strengths of the family and also identify patterns that are problematic and need to be challenged. Now let me sign off and hope to see you in another session. Thank you.